Welcome to our video on the most overrated cooking trick and what to do instead. In the kitchen, we often fall prey to common cooking myths that promise perfect results but can lead us astray. Today, we'll dive into the misconceptions surrounding searing meat, the constant stirring of risotto, and the hype around brining, among others. We'll unravel these culinary myths and offer practical alternatives that can elevate your cooking without the fuss. Let's debunk these overrated tricks and discover a more effective approach to cooking. 1. The myth of searing meat to lock in juices. For years, many home cooks and even some chefs have believed in the myth that searing meat can lock in its juices. This idea has been perpetuated by cooking shows, cookbooks, and even some culinary schools. But recent studies have shown that this might not be entirely accurate. Searing meat does add flavor and create a beautiful crust, but it doesn't actually seal in juices. In fact, the high heat can cause more moisture to escape. Instead of focusing solely on searing, consider using a meat thermometer to ensure the meat is cooked to the right temperature without losing moisture. 2. The misconception of constantly stirring risotto. There's a widespread belief that risotto must be stirred constantly to achieve its creamy texture. While stirring is important, it's not necessary to do it non-stop. The key to a perfect risotto lies in the gradual addition of broth and allowing the rice to absorb the liquid slowly. A gentle stir every few minutes is sufficient. This method not only saves effort but also prevents the rice from breaking down too much, ensuring a creamy yet textured dish. 3. Brining. Not always a game changer. Brining has gained popularity as a technique to enhance the flavor and juiciness of meats, especially poultry. However, not all meats benefit from brining. For lean cuts, brining can indeed be beneficial, but for fattier meats, the natural moisture and fat content already do the trick. Over-brining can lead to overly salty meat, which is not desirable. Instead, consider dry brining, which involves rubbing the meat with salt and allowing it to rest. This method enhances flavor without the risk of over-salting. 4. Cooking pasta in a large pot of water. A tradition to rethink. We've always been told that pasta needs to be cooked in a large pot of boiling water. However, this might not be necessary. Using less water can actually result in a starchier cooking liquid, which is perfect for creating a creamy sauce. The key is to stir the pasta to prevent it from sticking. This method not only saves water but also time, as less water boils faster. 5. The overemphasis on fresh herbs. Fresh herbs are often touted as essential for flavor in cooking. While they do add a vibrant touch, dried herbs can be just as effective, especially when used correctly. Dried herbs are more concentrated, so a little goes a long way. They're perfect for dishes that require longer cooking times, as the flavors have time to develop. Don't underestimate the power of dried herbs. They're a pantry staple for a reason. 6. Marinating. Not always necessary. Marinating is often seen as a must for tenderizing and infusing flavor into meats. However, the truth is that marinades mostly affect the surface of the meat and don't penetrate deeply. For quick results, focus on using acidic ingredients, which can tenderize the surface. Alternatively, consider using a spice rub, which can add just as much flavor without the need for long marination times. 7. The misbelief in rinsing rice. Many people believe that rinsing rice before cooking is essential to remove excess starch. While this is true for some types of rice, such as basmati, it's not necessary for all varieties. For instance, arborio rice used in risotto relies on its starchiness to create a creamy consistency. Skipping the rinse can also result in a stickier texture, which is ideal for dishes like sushi. Knowing when to rinse and when to skip will elevate your rice dishes. 8. The overuse of olive oil for everything. Olive oil is often seen as the go-to cooking oil for its health benefits and flavor. However, it's not always the best choice for every dish. Olive oil has a relatively low smoke point, making it unsuitable for high-heat cooking methods like frying. Instead, Consider using oils with higher smoke points, such as canola or grapeseed, for these techniques. Reserve olive oil for dressings and low-heat cooking to preserve its flavor and health benefits. 9. Believing in the magic of baking soda for crispy skin. Baking soda is sometimes recommended for achieving crispy skin on poultry. While it can help, it's not a magic solution. The key to crispy skin is ensuring the surface is dry before cooking. Pat the skin with paper towels and allow it to air dry in the fridge for a few hours. This method ensures a crispy texture without altering the flavor, unlike baking soda, which can leave a slightly metallic taste. 10. The fallacy of using expensive ingredients for better flavor. There's a common assumption that more expensive ingredients automatically result in better tasting dishes. This isn't always the case. Quality is important, but understanding how to use ingredients effectively is key. Simple ingredients like garlic, onions, and lemons can elevate a dish without breaking the bank. Focus on technique and balance of flavors, rather than solely relying on high-priced ingredients, to create memorable meals.